Hi guys, howdy do. I'm Karen Adamski with shamamama.com, and today number 19 of my one video blog a day for 30 days. So I'm getting there, and it's funny because just over the last couple of days I've had a few people say, oh, you should keep doing it after 30 days, and I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see when we get to day 30, but it's good. It's been good for me. So again, thanks for bearing with me. And today I wanted to talk quickly about soul retrieval. This is a practice that takes place within shamanism, and it's where a shamanic practitioner helps another person find pieces of their missing soul and retrieve them and bring them back. So I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. I think the best way to explain it is when you're born into this world, your soul or your spirit energy is about as pure and whole as it's going to be when you're born. So say, for me, I know I've seen mine, and it's very much purples and lavenders, a lot of colors for me. Some people see a figure of a person, and they see that as their soul. Or an animal. For me, I've seen colors, and it was just really, really pretty. But anyway, when you're born, you have your soul intact for the most part. And then as you grow and you're being taught and you're being influenced by people around you, you can kind of lose pieces of your soul, and that can happen through traumatic circumstances. If something really bad or scary or hurtful happens to you, if somebody makes you feel bad or tells you things about yourself, if you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, that kind of thing, that can actually you can lose a piece of your soul because of that. So there's just so many different ways that it can happen, and it happens to everybody. It's just how things work. So when we first arrive here and we're all nice and new, and we haven't been taught how to think. We haven't been taught, you should do this, and this is okay, and that's not. And when that starts happening, that's when you start losing little bits and pieces of yourself. So if you're feeling like you are just not super happy, maybe feeling depressed, maybe feeling scattered, maybe not knowing who you are or why you're here, just kind of feeling that stuck feeling, it could be beneficial to visit a shamanic practitioner and talk about a soul retrieval. It may or may not be what you need, but if it is, then what happens is the shaman will work with you and will journey for you and with their spirit helpers and go out and locate your spirit helpers, which will help with finding your missing soul, or that energy of your missing soul. I'm saying that out loud, and it's like, okay, that sounds a little crazy, but it's not. I'm just trying to, if it's a new idea to you, I get that it sounds a little crazy, but I'm just trying to think of a way to explain it to you where it doesn't sound so out there. But I guess it's just one of those things. It's out there. So anyway, the shaman can go and help you retrieve your soul and bring it back. They'll talk with your spirit helper and talk with that piece of your soul and say, is this something? Are you willing to come back? Will you stay with this person for the remainder of their days? And typically the answer is yes, and they're happy to go back. And so you bring that energy back and bring it to that person. And there's so many different ways to attach that missing soul piece to the rest of the soul. You can use your hands and kind of blow it into the person. I like to use a large quartz crystal point, and I use that as almost like a holding basket. So as I'm retrieving pieces of soul, I put it in there. And then once I have everything, I transfer it to the client. So, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and there is no right or wrong way. The results of it are typically very good. People seem to have a lot more energy, a lot more self-confidence, feel a lot more whole and more motivated in general to move forward in their life. So it's a really good thing. It's kind of considered within shamanism one of the most sacred practices that a shaman can do. So it is, it's a big deal from a shamanic standpoint. And it can be difficult for the practitioner. So it's not like, okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, here we go, and here's your soul back. There is a lot of work involved. But it can be a very, very, very beneficial and highly spiritual practice. So pretty cool. Trying to think. Oh, so I know from doing my own soul retrieval, this is just an example of how I lost a piece of my soul. And this is, well, this is just, you know, part of my story, I guess. It's not that, I guess I'm feeling a little weird about sharing it just because I don't want it to seem like, oh, that's not that big a deal. Well, I went through this and I went, you know, I was whatever, attacked. And so that's how I lost my soul. Mine's not that, and mine's not like that. So I don't mean to belittle anybody else's experience, I guess is what I'm getting at. But one of my pieces of soul went missing when I was in, I believe it was first grade, and Mrs. Morris, who I don't know if you're still around or not, but Mrs. Morris treated me like I was the village idiot. And I didn't think like other kids. I had to go to the learning center a lot. I didn't understand things the way other people understood them. And now knowing what I know, a lot of shamanic practitioners are very much like that. Their brain works in a more creative way rather than how you're taught within an academic environment. That I didn't do so well with. But then when you get on the creative side of things, it clicks for me, so I get it. So my learning process is just a little bit different than other people's, but at the time, you know, I didn't know that, she didn't know that, and she just, like I said, she treated me like I was just the dumbest person in the class, and I felt that, and I felt that about myself, because here's the teacher telling me, oh my gosh, you don't get it. So I just thought, yeah, I'm dumb, and at that point, I lost a piece of my soul. So I get that now. And usually when you do that soul retrieval work and your soul comes back to you, you usually understand why it went missing in the first place. And that's not something that you need to dwell on because the past is the past and you want to move forward. But it is good to know because, you know, I don't want to ever treat anybody like that. Just because somebody might learn differently than you do does not mean that they're stupid. They just think in a different way. And I think that the way our society is today, it's expected that everybody follow suit and do things a certain way. And I think that that's very harmful to people. Harmful enough that people will lose bits and pieces of their soul over it. So, I mean, it's a big deal. So, anywho, that's just a little sharing from me. So, Mrs. Morris, if you're out there, I am doing well. I forgive you for everything. And I hope you're well. So that's about it. I'm interested to know if anybody out there has gone through the practice of a soul retrieval, whether you're a shamanic practitioner who has aided somebody in this practice, or whether you yourself have gone to see a practitioner for soul retrieval. I'd love to hear your feedback. I have done a number of them now, and every single one is different with beautiful results. So it's pretty cool. If you want to learn more about what is involved in soul retrieval rather than just listening to me babble, you can go to my website. It's www.shamamama.com, and if you click on the services button, there's a bunch of services there, and it kind of gives a write-up of what it is and why you would potentially think of doing it. So if you look under soul retrieval there, it gives you probably a less chatty version of what soul retrieval is all about. So, okay, I'm looking at the time here. I should go. I got to get my little baby to the vet because she's got a tummy ache or something. Where are you, Momo? Oh, she's not here. I was going to show you Monet. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Be kind today. Be happy. Namaste. And I will see you tomorrow.